Time now for the starting goalies, brought to you by Honda. And for the Minnesota Wild, the 5th goaltender that has played in this season series against St. Louis. He might have a little bit of nerves. John Curry, as you look at his numbers with Iowa in the American Hockey League, 30 years of age, played at Boston University 8 or 9 years ago, and just his 5th NHL appearance tonight. And a guy that's seen a lot of the National Hockey League, of course, is the veteran Ryan Miller. Those are his numbers with the St. Louis Blues. Not bad overall, but like the rest of the team, he has struggled a bit in his last 4 games. He has the one shutout, the shootout, 1-0 win over Philadelphia. Then the other 3 games, he has given up 4 goals in each. Dave Strader in the broadcast booth here at XL Energy Center. Brian Engblom is our man inside the glass as we are underway. St. Louis Blues, first of a 2-game road trip. They'll go on to Dallas and finish at home on NBC Sunday afternoon against the Detroit Red Wings as the puck goes back into the Blues zone. And Roman Polak, who paired up here with Carlo Koliakovo. Niederreiter in on the forecheck. And now the Blues defenseman Polak gets it to center ice and sends it into the Minnesota zone. Curry out to play the puck around the boards. Polak is there for the Blues and could not keep it in, pressured by Cook.
I expect to see the St. Louis Blues defense up on the play. They haven't got any production from them from the last 13 games. No goals at all. Too talented a group. Sometimes you just go through a slump, but that's an extraordinarily long one, and I think they have to fix that.
Well, the first shift, Ken Hitchcock got a look at Steen, Sabotka, and Oshie, a line that he told us this morning he's very eager to see how they perform. He said, that's a line, if I like what I see, that we could see in the playoffs, even when Captain David Backes comes back. Again, in case you joined us late, Backes injured in the game against Washington on the trip. His foot in a boot. And is not going to play tonight. Might miss the last 3 games of the regular season, but doesn't appear to be a long-term situation. As Coyle with a shot that's up high on the glass behind Ryan Miller, chipped along the near boards, and now out to center ice. Berglund with Schwartz, hands it off. Jaden Schwartz tried to go back to Berglund. It's knocked away by Curry, who's listed at 5'11".
That's generous.
Shattenkirk with a shot through, and there is Curry to gather it in. And Brian, you were saying down at ice level, watching the warm-up at 5'11", might be a little bit generous.
Yeah, he's definitely one of the smallest goalies in today's National Hockey League. 5th goaltender to play against the St. Louis Blues this year. Why not keep him guessing? You might as well.
That's right.
They've locked up their position in the playoffs, but their big guys are playing for Minnesota. They want to keep their game going. They think they're on top of things right now. That's why Koivu and Parise and Suter, all those guys are still in the lineup.
Shattenkirk after a St. Louis face-off win. Now Scandella picks it up for the Wild, angles it off the boards. This line of LaPierre, Reeves, and Ott accounted for the only goal in the loss against Washington the other night and played well most of the night. Ott with a big hit on Scandella as it comes around the boards. It's picked up by the veteran Mike Rupp. First game in quite a while back in the lineup. He sends it across, and it was a bit behind McCormick.
Too slow developing there. Rupp went wide. He slowed the play down. That allowed LaPierre to just come back real fast through the middle, make that defensive play.
Has not played in the last 23 games, and Danny Heatley, another veteran who's been in and out of the lineup, is in the lineup tonight. Justin Fontaine and Stefan Bayou getting the night off along with Jared Spurgeon. So a couple of regulars out, but as you just mentioned, Brian, most of the big boys are in. As Haula sends it across, Pominville, he's got a late man coming. Instead, he tries to go to the net. It goes off a stick. And Derek Roy with it now for the Blues, able to play it safely to the far boards. Now Reeves tries to jam it ahead, and it's picked up now with Derek Roy into the zone. Tries to make a move. He pulls it out, gets it to the blue paint. It's loose there for Porter. He couldn't find it. Another shot at it for Roy, and it's cleared by the Wild, and it's out to center ice as John Curry with all kinds of traffic in tight, and the puck was loose for a moment in the blue paint.
Haula saved the goal, Dave. It was Haula that took the puck and pushed it back underneath Curry. It was free.
Now Cook on the rush. Cook with a shot here and a save made by Miller. Now it comes back to Niederreiter. His shot is gathered up by Miller. And pretty good pace here in the early going.
Today's National Hockey League, if you get an outnumbered attack, you have to go fast. There was so much back pressure, and for Minnesota, they didn't do a good job on it on their last rush. And then Minnesota gets a good scoring chance at one end of the ice, and then it comes back in the other direction. We'll show you that chance where Curry had the puck go in behind him later on.
Face-off controlled by the Wild. Here is Cook. Knocked off the stick by Steen as we see Sobotka, Oshie, and Steen again. The Brodziak line is out here for Mike Yeo against the top line of the Blues. As Scandella sends it across. There is Christian Foley, number 5, making his NHL debut tonight out of UMass Lowell. Played a couple of years there. Quite a story, number 5 for the Minnesota Wild, the journey he has taken to this first game in the NHL. He is not eligible to play, though, for the Wild in the playoffs, so they're getting an opportunity to see what the young man can do in a game situation against a motivated opponent. Pietrangelo for the Blues, slides it across. Bouwmeester, good job to keep it in, sends it back in deep. Oshie has it. No points in his last 6 since a hat trick against these Minnesota Wild. And it's cleared by the Minnesota team back to the St. Louis line. Delayed penalty coming up against the Wild. Ryan Miller realizes that, gets to the bench for the extra attacker across the line now. Here's Pietrangelo with a shot. Curry gave up a rebound, but it goes right to Koivu, and we will get the call.
Yeah, it's going to be a holding call here. It looks like Nino Niederreiter, who had jumped onto his bench and make a line change, but they caught him. No hiding over there. Might have been closing the hand on the puck. I didn't get a good look at it from this side here. I just saw the referee. I thought he was making a holding motion, but I think they just said closing the hand. Yeah, there it is right there. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You can't yeah, he grabs it, closes his fingers on it, and underhands it out of the zone.
Power play for the Blues, something that Ken Hitchcock singled out after the Washington game. As Schwartz with a shot here. Curry through traffic able to pick it up and make the save. Now Berglund spins away from pressure. Good pressure by Jonas Brodin around the boards. Will the Blues get there to hold it in? Poliakovo able to hold it in now for Schwartz. Sets it up for Berglund. Berglund for Roy. Back to the line. Poliakovo for Roy. Top of the circle. Try to go down low. Good stick. And the puck is picked up by Koivu and he sends it down the ice. Ken Hitchcock, we've seen him quite a bit the last month or so, Brian. He talks about this team, St. Louis, being built for 5-on-5, but he's disappointed with the play of the special teams on both sides, the power play and the penalty kill. He feels has let them down.
Yeah, you want your special teams operating really well, especially your penalty kill, in my mind. That can really make you lose games and series.
Steen tries to send it across for Pietrangelo, the last defenseman to score a goal for the Blues, and that was 13 games ago in a game against Edmonton. Here's Pietrangelo with it. Hammers a shot here. Save made by Curry. And the puck to the corner. Scandella tries to clear. Held in by Pietrangelo. Now Sobotka with it. Vladimir Sobotka hands it off on the corner. Return from Oshie. Sobotka looking to drop it back with a quick shot, and Curry was backing up as he made that save.
Good quick shot from Steen, who was in the slot there, tried to go top shelf.
Oshie thought about the one-timer. Less than half a minute remaining in the penalty against Niederreiter for closing his hand on the puck. Centering pass. Scandella, perfect position. Sobotka for Steen, pass in front. Oshie, a little chip shot, a save. Curry trying to reach out to pull it in. He couldn't. Ends up in the corner. Steen has it again. Now Cook gets to it, and he plays it all the way back into the St. Louis zone with 5 seconds remaining in the St. Louis power play.
Good movement there on that power play. TJ Oshie coming in on a timing pattern right in front. Minnesota went to sleep there. They just turned their back on him. Didn't see him coming.
Parisi stripped it from LaPierre, who came back on Parisi. Parisi didn't like it, and the crowd wanted a penalty, but no call coming. As LaPierre now across the line, sends it to the end boards and gets in on the forecheck. Reaves it out there with him as Koivu hands it off to Parisi, far side for Coyle. Coyle takes a hit from Ott. Now Parisi gets it into the blue zone, and Roman Polak has it there. Jackman plays it ahead. LaPierre chips it in deep. Reaves in with a big hit. That time on Nate Prosser. Down to the point. Jackman a shot. Save made by Curry. Loose puck in close. Curry's bumped into by Ott, who's given a shove by Prosser, and there's a penalty coming. I believe it's going to go against Ott, probably for goaltender interference. He realizes it now, so I think trying to maybe draw the Wild into a retaliation. I can see
he's screaming at the referee.
At the referee, yes.
Yeah, no doubt. He thinks he got pushed into John Curry, and that's why he's going to go back at him. You know that. Doesn't matter. It's definitely interference.
Ken Hitchcock's team failed to score on the power play, and now they'll be on the penalty kill in a scoreless game.
Steve Ott in the penalty box for goaltender interference, and yeah, he deserved it. He tried to say he got pushed in, but he didn't. Look at him come in there. He just puts his backside right into the head of Curry. Then he gets pushed after the fact, but he does interfere.
Yeah, he may have been lucky he didn't get called for the cross-check prior to the interference with the goalie as well. So the Wild go to work with a man advantage in this scoreless game. They were 1 for 2 in their victory over Boston the other night. Here is Suter with a shot through that's blocked by Pietrangelo to the corner. Sabotka drops it back to Pietrangelo. He gets it to Steen, who sends it all the way down the ice. The Wild on the season ranked 27th. Or excuse me, 16th they rank on the power play, and you saw the numbers on the Blues on their penalty kill. And as Suter moves it along, Coyle roughed up by Polak. Puck comes free. Parisi's pass intercepted by Jackman, who got it by Pominville all the way back into the Minnesota Wild end of the ice.
Any power play, the entry is so important. You have to get in, get under control. They're having trouble doing that. Minnesota is. St. Louis has kept them along the wall. That's the next biggest problem. Pulling the puck off the wall so you have it under control. Look into the middle of the ice and make some play.
The youngster Christian Folin getting some time here on the power play, which Mike Yeo said he would certainly give him that chance early on. Puck is knocked down, picked up by Molson. Molson to Heatley. Heatley turns, sends it back in deep for Molson. Now Folin goes to the middle of the blue line. The puck comes to him. He slides it across. Here's Brodin with a shot that goes wide.
Yeah, he was trying for the shot pass there, Dave. He had Molson coming across on sort of an angular pattern through the middle. He was definitely trying to bank that one off the stick, but Molson couldn't find the handle on it.
Folin to center ice. Nice pass to Niederreiter. Sends it to the corner. Blues get to it first, and it's hammered past Brodin back into the Minnesota zone. Jaden Schwartz was coming back on Brodin, and Brodin able to pull away. Sends it across, Ott just out of the box, just missed the puck on the reach, and Cook offside on the play. As he was backing in, he's saying, hey, I have control of the puck.
Only one decent look that Minnesota had. They'll move the puck back to the point eventually, and it'll go point to point. Now watch the two guys in the middle for Minnesota. Molson's one of them. Maybe he did get just a tiny touch on it, but wasn't enough. That was Brodin who had the shot pass from the point. And that was Folin there that you saw gave the pass across from side to side, but no blood there on that power play for Minnesota.
Now Shattenkirk across for Koliakovo. Deflected into the Wild zone, immediately cleared right back out. Koliakovo back to get it, sends it across for Shattenkirk. Now on the far side. Steen across the line, hands it off Sabotka. Tried to go back to the front, blocked by Prosser. Cody McCormick able to get it to Cook. He knew there was a hit coming. He dropped it back on Scandella across the line. 3-on-2 for the moment. Long-range shot is stopped by Miller. That was Matt Cook that had that chance as Brodziak rolls it back deep. Cook, one of the referees trying to get out of the way. Finally, Jean Libert, number 15, the referee, working the game along with Denny Leroux. 9.5 remaining in this scoreless first period. Each team has had a power play opportunity. Again, the Wild are locked into the #1 wild card spot in the West. The Blues right now would be their first round opponent, but St. Louis trying to leapfrog back over Anaheim for the top spot in the West. If they get the top spot, they will play the #2 wild card team, and that would be either Dallas or Phoenix. That's the last playoff spot to be determined in the NHL. As a pass hits the side of the net, bounces to the high slot. The Blues skate away with it. Reeves sends it deep, goes after it along with Steve Ott. Collision between Reeves and Blum. Now Reeves knocks him down too aggressively. He's going to get the cross-checking penalty. The crowd realizes it now.
Yeah, you got to drop the one hand off the stick. That was an easy cross-checking call. Delayed penalty here. Another chance for Minnesota. Not the way St. Louis wants to start the game when they're struggling. This will be their second penalty.
Koivu hands it off to Blum. Pressure from Jaden Schwartz. Pominville, and now it's poked into the open net. Of course, that doesn't count. As soon as the Blues touch it, the whistle blows, and a couple of Wild not happy about what the Blues did there. Minnesota power play coming up.
Coach, your team has shown a lot of offensive confidence, especially the last 5 or 6 games. But what elements are you looking for in this game tonight?
I think what we've talked about is that we want to try to maintain some of that. We've got to try to make sure that we don't have any kind of drop in our urgency level. Obviously, the games have meant so much lately, and now we figured out where we're going to be. We got to try to keep maintaining that.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Mike Yeo, just the third head coach in the 13 seasons, the history of the Minnesota Wild. Of course, Jacques Lemaire was here from 2000 through the 08-09 season. Then it was Todd Richards, and Yeo replaced Todd Richards, who's now doing a great job with a playoff-bound team in Columbus.
This Minnesota team does feel different offensively. They have a lot more confidence, I think. That urgency, that's the word Jason Pominville used in the pregame, too.
And Pominville hammers one here that is gathered by Ryan Miller. A little extra shoves after the whistle.
Jason Pominville moves back to the point all the time. Sometimes he's on the left side. Sometimes he's on the right side. He and Suter flip around all the time to give different looks. He's done a terrific job. Pominville has 29 goals on the season. That leads the team. He also leads them in points.
Koivu, Parisi, Coyle, Suter, and Pominville, the #1 power play unit for the Minnesota Wild. A lot of jostling going on pre-faceoff. It comes out. Pominville straight away for Suter. Suter. Now he'll let it go right through. Coyle was knocked down, the puck to the far side. Picked up by Mikko Koivu. One-timer Pominville. Ott, I think, got a stick on that. Now it's angled off the boards. It bounced off of Pominville and cleared by the Blues down the ice.
They like setting Pominville up for that one-timer. Suter will take his shots only when he sees the clear avenue. You saw him fake and hold and hold. He's more of a passer than a shooter most times.
Parisi back to Suter. Slides it across. Pominville. High slot. Parisi right back to Suter. Koivu sends it across. Good puck movement here by the Wild on this power play. Just didn't quite handle that last pass cleanly. Now Jackman able to get it free for Jaden Schwartz. And Schwartz starts it back with 7.5 remaining in the first period. Across the line, long-range shot. Curry the save. And he held onto it there.
Jaden Schwartz was smart on that shorthanded opportunity. He takes a look at the defenders. He's all by himself. He's got Ryan Suter back there, who's a defenseman, and he's got Jason Pominville, who's a forward. So which guy would you rather go after? Look at him, look at the situation. Yeah, that guy? No, this guy. He didn't try to beat him with a move. Jason Pominville is an experienced guy. He's been playing defense an awful lot, but Schwartz went to the forward instead of the D-man. Good choice.
Wild control the draw with 50 seconds remaining in the Ryan Reeves cross-checking penalty. Heatley plays it ahead into the St. Louis zone. Picked up and one time by Molson, deflected up into the netting over the glass and out of play.
Alex Pietrangelo had trouble handling that puck coming off the wall, and he inadvertently put it right into play, right in the deep slot there, and that's what gave Minnesota the chance. Look at Pietrangelo right here. Just kind of mishandles it, throws it into the middle, tries to recover, but in the meantime, Minnesota had already taken that shot from Matt Molson.
So Brodin and Folin back at the points on the second power play unit. Folin hands it off to Heatley, top of the circle, the big windup. Goes to Molson, back to Heatley, and the shot blocked, and it caroms out to center ice.
Roman Polak's so good at getting in the shooting lanes. He is very instinctive that way.
Molson couldn't get that short pass. It is dumped back into the Minnesota zone. Curry takes a quick look, hands it off. Brodin, that took a dangerous bounce out in front of the Minnesota net. Recovered by Nino Niederreiter as we're down to the final dozen seconds of this Minnesota Wild power play. Their second of the game. And that is offside as faceoff will come back to center ice in front of the St. Louis bench.
On the rush again, that's the issue that Minnesota was having. There's the instinctive play of Roman Polak, number 46. Good job of just staying in the shooting lane. He's got to react. He's up high. He's got to react down low, then turn around. He knows that there's so many one-timers, but he knows he's in the alley, in the avenue between the shooter, Heatley, and his own goaltender. When he turns around, he takes the shot.
Reeves out of the box, skates over to the bench. He'll be replaced by Sobotka as that top line is out here again for Ken Hitchcock. Back to the line. Koliakovo didn't have the shooting lane. Does Shattenkirk? Yes, and a save made by Curry. Dumped back in front and blocked by the Minnesota defense. Picked up by Scandella, and he'll lift it back to center ice. Niederreiter across the line. Now it's picked up by Cook on the crisscross. Poliakovo with a good stick, but Cook gets it back. Here's a chance for Blum. Score! They've been tipped in front of the Wild with a 1-0 lead.
Minnesota drives St. Louis back in the zone. Then there's good east-west play. I'm not sure if this one was deflected in front or not. Minnesota on the attack. That's Cook retrieving the puck. Then there's the good east-west play. Presence in front of the net. Brodziak is there. The shot by Blum. Blum has got his head up. That looked like it just went in clean to me, I think.
Niederreiter's stick was behind Miller's pad. That was the stick that I saw on the live look, Brian, that I thought may have touched it. And he also reacted very quickly, but of course he saw the puck go in before anybody else. We'll wait for the official announcement, but the Wild have the first goal of the game and a 1-0 lead over the St. Louis Blues. Koivu for Suter. It skips through him and back to the Minnesota line, and Blum has it there. And they announce it as Niederreiter's goal, his 14th of the year.
Good job by Blum moving in there. He had tremendous penetration. He was in deep, had a still good angle to the net, and took a good calculated shot that Niederreiter obviously got a stick on.
That puck back into the St. Louis zone, hit up on the netting over the glass and out of play. Will the Minnesota Wild get the all-important first goal of the game? Niederreiter. And the Wild with a 1-0 lead. For 40 years, the Verizon IndyCar Series has been burning rubber at Long Beach. It's all horsepower and palm trees. The Toyota Grand Prix of Long Beach, Sunday, 4 Eastern here on NBCSN. Dave Strader, Brian Engblom, the rest of our crew. 4 days left in this regular season. Hard to believe. As you look at the goal scorer, Niederreiter, 14th of the year. We're talking to Zach Parisi this morning, Brian, about the different feel, different culture. And he liked that word. He said, yeah, there's definitely a different feel here. You know, we just believe that if we get behind in a game now, even though overall they're still a low-scoring team, they feel they have more balance with Molson and Pominville having been here now for a while. And
oh, there's no doubt about that. And the 4 come from behind victories in the third periods, just in the last 6 or 7 games.
Yeah.
Oh, that's incredible confidence boost. They did it against Boston the other day.
Yeah, they've done it against very good competition. Yeah. Poliakovo plays it around. Porter comes back to play it. Lifts it out to center ice. Payarvi drops it back. Roy with a shot that's blocked up on the netting and out of play. Can you predict the Stanley Cup playoffs? Challenge your friends and family or compete in public leagues for a chance to win great prizes, including tickets to the 2015 Stanley Cup Final. Fill out your brackets at NHL.com/bracket. It's going to be a lot of fun to look at the field of playoff teams and know that the winner of this series is going to play the winner of that series. There's no reseeding.
I think it's going to make a lot more fun. I mean, just look what March Madness does in basketball for everybody. Everybody fills out a bracket to be able to do the same thing in the NHL playoffs.
Now Steen trying to come out of the corner with it. Kept to the outside by Prosser. Nice diagonal pass. Jackman with a shot to the net. Curry the save. Kind of had to adjust his position there to make that stop. Oshie, nice drop pass. Jackman with a shot. That stopped in front. Now Oshie gets to it again. This is the line that Ken Hitchcock wants to see spend some time in the offensive zone.
That first shot by Jackman, Dave, it was too high. Sobotka was the only guy in front of the net. Minnesota defenders had not looked around at all. Sobotka was all alone, but the shot was really too high for him to do anything with.
Ken Hitchcock saying that lately we've gotten most of our offense off what he calls the grind, not off the rush. Here's Shattenkirk with a shot and a save by Curry. He just did get the 5-hole together.
Curry doing a good job of coming out and challenging Shattenkirk. Before that, Jackman with the shots from the point. Here's Shattenkirk moving in on this last shot. Tries to go 5-hole. Here's Jackman, and look behind the scenes there at the top of the screen. All alone in front. All alone in front is Sobotka, but the shot was too high. That one needed to be more of a shot pass. Sobotka would have had some time and room to work with.
LaPierre wins the draw. Pietrangelo hands it off now for Ott. At the rim of the circle, trying to get a shot through. Hit a stick in front. Heatley and Rupp chasing after it. Well, Rupp gets a stick on it, but the Blues are quickly on it as Bouwmeester plays it ahead. Nice up here for Ryan Reeves. Reeves will try to drop it back for Ott. Backhands it along. Now the Blues have it again. Reeves for LaPierre. Bolin trying to keep him to the outside. It comes to Polak for a shot through traffic. Bounces to the far side of the Wild zone. Cleared out, dumped back in, and the Blues tag up. They're going to make a change anyway as the Wild back behind their own net. With under 3 minutes remaining here in this first period. Marco Scandella plays it ahead. Charlie Coyle hands it off Parisi. Far side, Koivu. Jaden Schwartz just got a piece of that pass. And then Polak moves it away from Koivu. Poliakovo. Jaden Schwartz off his stick. Picked up though by Yashkin. Now here is Schwartz with it again. Spins away from the Minnesota pressure. Drops it back. Yashkin number 26. Giving a shove. Gets right back to his skates. Up the board Shattenkirk. Now chipped along Blum. Moves it away from Yashkin, but it's picked up by Jackman, who pinched in perfectly. Now a bouncing puck recovered by Koivu.
Good rotation by the St. Louis defense. That was Jackman moving in. He was covered up on the point there by Jaden Schwartz, so he can do that. Again, they want to press up with their defense when they have a chance, and it works well. They're well organized in the offensive zone, St. Louis is.
Now Jackman pressured by a couple of Minnesota players. Koivu and Parisi. Now Koivu lets it go for Parisi below the goal line. He gets it out now to Pominville. Deflected away from him. Picked up by Kevin Shattenkirk. Ashkin now for Jaden Schwartz, who hammers one in wide of the Minnesota net. Picked up by Jonas Brodin. Give away there to Roy. Roy passed to the front. ARB couldn't pick it up. Porter will drive a shot. Saved by Curry. Ends up behind the Minnesota net. Derek Roy pass in front. Sent just wide. That was Porter that had the opportunity. Pietrangelo now tried to feed it back to the front. The Wild looked to get numbers going the other way. The Blues hustle back though, and the play offside at the St. Louis line.
St. Louis has been good on the forecheck. They've spent a fair amount of time in Minnesota's zone. Minnesota turned the puck over. Derek Roy had some teammates coming on the line change. I think Brodin ended up getting a stick on it, but you'll watch the forecheck here. There's Roy. There's Roy with the steal. Now he's got his head up. Here's the line change. Minnesota, he tries to dump it out in front. He's converged on pretty quickly. It hit somebody's stick, and it ended up in the corner. It would have been a good scoring chance, certainly for the St. Louis Blues at that one. They're able to find somebody in front.
Oshie plays it ahead. Sabotka tried to wheel it across for Steen. Wild able to get to it and clear it back into the St. Louis zone. Less than a minute remaining in the period. Sabotka pressured by Brodziak. Blues maintain possession. Oshie across now. Pietrangelo jumps up on the play. Recovered by the Wild. Little short outlet pass. Brodziak now left wing side for the goal scorer here in the first period. Niederreiter. Niederreiter taken down by Oshie. Niederreiter gets it back. Dumps it out to Brodziak. Angles it off the board. Suter goes back to Brodziak. Brodziak tried to get it through to Cook. It's knocked away with just over 20 seconds remaining here in the first. Niederreiter with some good work there on Steen, who comes back. He didn't like the hit he took.
No, he didn't. Steen did not like that hit from Niederreiter at all. He got up right away. He was looking for him. Now Matt Cook is right in the face of Steen.
Play continues into the Minnesota zone while all that's happening. You ask him with an empty little move, but then taken back by the Wild. And that's going to do it for a spirited first period. Don't think we're going to get any penalties as a result of everything that happened at the end. A reminder coming up on the Lexus Intermission Report. Russ, JR, Anson in the studio talking about John Curry spicing things up. The goaltending situation for the Minnesota Wild and planting a seed in the East as we're trying to determine playoff matchups in the first round, which begin on Wednesday the 16th. And there still are some questions to be answered in the final days of this regular season. 1-0 Wild on their home ice. The Intermission Report on the other side of this. The NHL on NBCSN is brought to you by Lexus and their pursuit of perfection. And by Miller Lite. It's not just a good time, it's Miller time. 1-0 Minnesota Wild here in the state of hockey. You see some of the many high school jerseys that adorn the concourse here as we go inside the glass, presented by Progressive Insurance with Brian Engblom.
Well, St. Louis Blues are down by 1 goal, but it's not because they didn't have any scoring chances. They had 17 shots on goal. They outshot Minnesota 17-5 overall. And 9 of the 17 shots by the St. Louis Blues are from their defensemen, so they're getting that push from the back end. There's a good shot by Shattenkirk moving in from the blue line. He gets a good look at the net. There were a couple of other times, too, where Jackman moved in from the point. This was on a line change. They got it back to the net. They've had pressure all around John Curry, but they haven't found the answer for him yet.
John Curry, a young man from Minnesota, won a high school championship. We were just talking about those jerseys around the concourse here at XL Energy Center. As Otto chases this puck down in the Wild zone, sends it across now. Poliakovo in deep. LaPierre let it go for Ott. 17-5 advantage, shots on goal. In that first period for Ken Hitchcock's team as a pass up the middle for Heatley is closed off by Roman Polak. LaPierre with it now. That jumps over the stick of Ott. Picked up now by Marco Scandella. Bolin played it ahead. Cody McCormick will get it deep into the St. Louis zone as LaPierre and McCormick had a little conversation before a line change.
Both teams are missing key players when it comes to creating offense on the rush. For St. Louis, Tarasenko is not back in the lineup yet, and Hitchcock talked about the fact we really missed his offensive production on the rush. And Michael Granlund from Minnesota, terrible turnover there by Roman Polak, right to Cook.
Now Cook, pass to the front of the net, slides through the crease in front of Ryan Miller. Back out the other way, Oshie sends it deep. Scandella for the Wild, plays it on the far side, picked up by Brodziak, pushes it ahead to Cook, drops it back. Bolin now for Brodziak, trying to sift his way through the Blues defense. Niederreiter pinned to the end board, centering attempt blocked by the goal stick of Miller. And Yashkin plays it out to center ice. Sabotka let it go. And the drop pass for Steen doesn't work. Big collision. Yashkin running into Niederreiter, who gets back onside as the puck is dumped into the St. Louis zone. The Wild making changes now as Jaden Schwartz starts it back for St. Louis. Yashkin on the far side. Drops it back. Berglund with a chance. Save made by Curry. Came out aggressively there. And Coyle starts it back with Koivu and Parisi. And the pass went all the way through to Miller. He steers it to the corner. Koivu angles it off the boards. Suter shot. Out to the line, Blum. Parisi able to chop it free. Koivu tried to go back to the point. Got it there to Blum. Now Suter with a shot that was blocked. Now Coyle with it again. Back for Suter. Koivu for Parisi. Working against Jay Bouwmeester, who played him well. Now Schwartz. Blum stepped up on him. Now they come to Alex Pietrangelo. He'll get it to center ice and send it deep into the Minnesota zone. Now Suter for Jonathan Blum. Center ice, Pominville. Eric Holland now sends it across. And bounced off of Matt Molson. It comes back to Holland, number 56. Again, the Wild without Michael Granlund, who Brian mentioned a moment ago.
He's a terrific player for them. They really badly need him back in the lineup. Makes him so much stronger at center.
Halla's wraparound is blocked by Miller. Mike Yeo saying he was encouraged by his conversation with Granlund earlier today. He said he would know more in terms of any kind of a timetable, but he's feeling much better after the injury he sustained in a recent game against Los Angeles.
He got his head whacked. He ran to somebody's shoulder, I think, when they were out in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
He has had a couple of head injuries throughout the course of his career and this year, so they're taking their time with him naturally. He's a valuable player, though. His ability to make plays on the rush. He has the puck all the time, it seems, when he's out there playing for Minnesota. They miss Granlund.
Now McCormick plays it ahead. Jumps over the stick of Heatley. Recovered by Shattenkirk, who sends it back into the Minnesota Wild zone. Nate Prosser makes a big hit there from Reeves. Now Ott tried to get it to the front, and it bounced to the high slot. Slapped dead at the line by LaPierre to keep it in the offensive zone for the St. Louis Blues. Cody McCormick. LaPierre steps into him. Stretch pass to center ice. Rupp will drop it back. Brodin from Prosser. Prosser plays it ahead, and Rupp will redirect it into the St. Louis zone. Miller for Jackman. Backhands it along for TJ Oshie. Angles it off the boards. Now it comes back into the St. Louis zone. Barrett Jackman has it there. 5 minutes gone by here in the second period. Wild continue to lead 1-0. That will be icing against the Blues.
Talking about creating things on the rush, Jaden Schwartz very good at that. Coming out of his own zone, nice little move there, and then a quick cross-ice pass right on the tape to Yashkin. Yashkin drops it, and then look at the penetration for Berglund. He's right down at the face-off circle there. Well done there by John Curry. John Curry, not a very big guy, as you can see, but he's come out and challenged very well on the top edge of the crease.
You saw the attempts to the net so far. That includes shots on goal, shots that are attempted and get blocked, and shots that missed the net. And Ken Hitchcock was saying, we've got to be around 60 attempts to the net. That's who we are. We're built to be a 5-on-5 team. We do a lot, as he calls it, off the grind, spending time in the offensive zone. They felt they had quite a few attempts to the net and did against the Washington Capitals the other night.
And, you know, part of that, too, obviously, is their power play, which has been good all season long, but they only have one power play goal in their last 5 games. So, yeah, that 5-on-5 play is important when your power play is dried up, too.
Coyle back to pick it up now for the Wild. He'll circle back after he's pressured by Yashkin. Scandella. Christian Folin out of UMass Lowell. Mentioned his squad last spring. Went to the Frozen Four. Want to pass along congratulations to Union College, their victory over Boston College in the first of the 2 semifinal games of the Frozen Four, taking place at the Wells Fargo Center in Philadelphia. Boston College got the quick 1-0 lead in that game, but Union came back and won it 5-4. We will face the winner of the University of Minnesota and North Dakota. Longtime rivals from their days in the WCHA, and no longer in the same conference with the reshuffling of the conferences in college hockey. Back on the rush, Pietrangelo with a chance. And that was blocked in front of Curry. And now it's cleared into the bench area and out of play. We will step away here in the second period. It is 1-0 Minnesota.
John Curry's done a really good job of challenging in this game. On the last rush for St. Louis, Minnesota really overloaded on one side of the ice. On the left side of your screen, that's Pietrangelo. Gets good penetration, but he really has nothing to look at. Look at Curry's well out 4, 5, 6 feet out above the paint. Keeps his position, is patient, has it hit him high, keeps it in front of him, and Minnesota clears it.
Well, as Coach Mike Yeo called him a battler, and when you take a look at the path of his career as we have this play whistled down, you can see why he would call John Curry a battler. He played for the Breck School Mustangs. I mentioned won a high school championship here in the state of Minnesota. Played a year of prep school hockey at Taft School in Watertown, Connecticut. Was recruited by a few D3 teams. He ended up going to Boston University, Brian, as a walk-on. 3 years later, he's a finalist for the Hobey Baker Award as the top performer in college hockey, and has worked his way through the minor pro ranks. A year in Germany, now playing in the NHL, just the 5th game he has played. He was with Pittsburgh when he played his other 4 NHL games. As Oshie with a long-range shot goes up over top of the net, and a very alert glove there by Curry to prevent that puck from coming in front of the Minnesota net.
Well, how about the other guy that's back up tonight, Ilya Bryzgalov? What a story he has been. My goodness, 7-0-3 with Minnesota. No losses in regulation. 2 shutouts, .923 save percentage. Talked to him this morning a little bit. He said, just comfortable. I'm just comfortable. It's a really good team here. And, you know, listen to these shot totals he's faced. 24, 20, 26, 20, 24, 24. I mean, they've really protected Bryzgalov. St. Louis is on their way to going well past those numbers. They had 17 shots in the first period. So Minnesota is not protected quite as well today as they have for Bryzgalov in his 10 games.
Derek Roy had the puck come off his stick. Here's Porter, drops it back for a drive and a save by Curry. That was Pietrangelo that got the shot through. Minnesota's defense accounted for 9 of their 17 first period shots. Porter with a big hit. Chris Porter was a teammate of Zach Parise at North Dakota, who's, I mentioned, playing in that other national semifinal game against Minnesota, University of Minnesota. Rodin plays it ahead, and now it's backhanded by Haula into the blue zone, and Ryan Miller hands it off. Bouwmeester plays it ahead. Porter deflects it into the Minnesota end of the ice. Curry sent it along now as looks like the Blues are trying to pick up the physical part of the game. Heatley, dangerous pass. Blues knocking away. Here is Jackman trying to turn it back the other way for an offensive chance. Hands it off now for Jaden Schwartz. Played his collegiate hockey at Colorado College. Now Yashkin plays it back for Schwartz. Now in the slot area, Yashkin gets a shot through and a save by Curry with Berglund right in front.
And that was Schwartz again doing terrific work along the boards. On the forecheck here, the cycle that St. Louis is really good at. Jaden Schwartz gets the puck out to Yashkin, and Yashkin just pulls the trigger. One-time shot. Look at Schwartz. He's so difficult to contain. I think he draws a lot of penalties along there because he can stop and start and change directions and hold possession of the puck so well. And then you just have to wait, put your stick down, he gives you the good pass, and you get the scoring chance.
Ott and McCormick kind of neutralize each other. And Prosser plays it out to Cody McCormick off the stick, backhanded by Koliakovo. And Scandella now for the Wild. Marco Scandella. Mike Yeo speaking highly of him. Number 6 says he's a defenseman maybe a lot of people around the league don't know, but he's a good, solid player for the Minnesota Wild.
Yeah, he's got great size. He's mostly a stay-at-home guy, but he's become more and more dependable for Minnesota. Scandella does a good job for them.
There is Scandella playing it around on the far side. Mike Rupp is there trying to clear it. Held in by LaPierre. Recovered by Rupp and able to get it by Roman Polak that time. And will it be icing? It will be. A reminder, you can call Star NHL to download NHL Game Center. Get a free premium upgrade only on Verizon. Enjoy exclusives like free live NBC national games. Never be without hockey.
There's a look at Marco Scandella. Good size, and he can match up against tall forwards when they want to. You know Ryan Suter's the guy that's normally out there against the big line all the time, but there are going to be certain occasions, and you need guys like Scandella who are going to play hard in their own zone, just keep control of the puck as best you can and make those good first passes out of the zone. That's what the coaches need and expect from their D-men.
Blues win the draw. Pietrangelo hands it off to Steen. Steen with a shot through traffic, deflected up high and wide of the Minnesota net. Recovered now by Oshie. Oshie working against Prosser. Hands it off far side. Pietrangelo fakes the shot. Now he'll send it in deep. Sabotka is there. Sabotka with Oshie. Steen out in the high slot. And he gets the pass. Hands it off now. Bouwmeester. Bouwmeester a shot, and he tried to go high on the short side against Curry.
Oh, did Minnesota ever take the shooting lanes away there?
Oshie gets it back out to Bouwmeester. He tried to shoot it wide, but it was sticked aside by Scandella. Here's Bouwmeester again. Sends it across for Pietrangelo. A lot of time in the offensive zone for this line of Oshie, Sabotka, and Steen. Sabotka takes it away. High slot, had it taken away, and then stick came up high. And there's going to be a Minnesota penalty coming here. Miller, the long skate to get to the bench. Oshie got it to Bouwmeester. Bouwmeester a shot. Curry the save. Rebound is stopped in front. Bouncing puck still not recovered. Now picked up by TJ Oshie. Hands it off to Sabotka. Oshie goes down. Maybe there's going to be another penalty. We'll wait and see. The shot here. Score! Now, had they blown the whistle, they were letting play continue, but then they thought Oshie was in a really bad situation. So I don't think you're right, Brian. I don't think that shot's going to count.
Jean Hebert, the referee, was shaking his head. No, it was Rupp sort of on a drive-by against Oshie. His stick came up or his elbow came up, and Oshie just dropped like a stone right to the ice. That's what got everybody's attention. It was, of course, a delayed penalty. And they get a chance from the point. There's Steen, John at Mike Rupp. Rupp has played very little this year because of injury, just back in the lineup. But he definitely got attention. Now Barrett Jackson to come over, and he wants a couple of words with Rupp as well, too, when he goes over to the referees to see what happens here and what the score is going to be. It's going to happen up near the blue line. Oshie's down low right now with the puck. He'll come up high, and there it is.
Oh, wow.
That looks like a shot to the head there because he's taller than Oshie is. Oshie's trying to protect the puck. Here comes Rupp from his blind side.
Oh, yeah.
He makes contact. He gets him right on the side of the chin there. And
the shoulder
just went right down.
Yeah, the shoulder of Rupp, primary point of contact, appeared on that replay.
Yeah.
The shoulder to the head. Oshie down. Ray Burley, the terrific trainer for the St. Louis Blues, out talking to TJ Oshie.
Principal point of contact is the head there. So Rupp is in the, I believe it's him over in the penalty box.
Well, Scandella's in the box, Brian. Rupp already went down to the dressing room.
Oh, he did?
So
okay, yeah. All right.
I know that's on your side of the ice and difficult to see, and TJ Oshie, as you can see, is heading down.
One more look at it. Oshie at the top of the screen there. Rupp was coming from his blind side, and that was a big issue there. So he never saw Rupp coming, and when Rupp comes across there, he flinches and drops his shoulder in there. Boy, the conversation is really going on now, both sides. Yeah, it's a match penalty, it looks like, to Rupp. That's going to be principal point of contact, and they're definitely going to look at that. He's going to be in trouble suspension-wise there.
And the original penalty on the delay, Brian, was against Scandella. He got the stick up, I believe it was on Sobotka. So Mike Rupp is going to have at least a phone conversation with Brendan Shanahan, who recently handed out a 4-game suspension to Zach Rinaldo for a different type of hit, but the same kind of result.
Now you got Lapierre going at it with Mike Yeo. Oh, both teams are heated up. Remember, these two teams are potential players against each other in the first round of the playoffs. Depends where St. Louis finishes. Let's take a look and see if we can get the Scandella penalty.
Right there, it was very
right
quick.
There.
Yep.
Happened very quickly, and then the play goes on. So the goaltender Miller is pulled. The puck will go all the way down. And you're going to see Yoshi end up behind the net eventually here. There's Oshie. So he comes back around top of your screen now. There's the hit. St. Louis still has the puck, and this is where they score. See, the puck does end up in the back of the net. You might have been able to hear the whistle, and the referees waved it off right away because they thought TJ Oshie was in great difficulty. Unfortunate for St. Louis because Minnesota had not touched the puck, and obviously it does go in the back of the net cleanly.
So it will be a 5-on-3 for the 2 minutes that go up on the board for Scandella. The full 5 minutes will have to be served for Rupp. And they did have a conversation with Toronto. Whether the puck enters the net before or after the whistle is not reviewable, but I'm sure Toronto wanted to hear from the official on the ice. What did you call? What did you see? And I'm sure his answer was the play was dead before the puck was shot into the net because of the injured player on the ice. And so, trailing 1-0, the St. Louis Blues have a 5-on-3 power play opportunity here. They start off with Roy, Schwartz, Shattenkirk, Sobotka, and Steen. Of course, one of their primary power play guys, TJ Oshie, down in the dressing room after that headshot. We'll have to wait and see if he comes back in this game. The Blues already without their captain, David Backes. Here is Sobotka, looking to the front. All 5 players inside the tops of the circle. Shattenkirk with a shot. He scores! Kevin Shattenkirk.
That was a heck of a shot. Alexander Steen was on the left point. He was inching down, trying for the one-timer, but the play wasn't there. So St. Louis waited very patiently and then got it to Shattenkirk, who was dead center. He did everything exactly the opposite. Look at Steen, right top of your screen. He moved down, didn't see the shot, but terrific screen in front there. Prosser, being one of them from Minnesota, screened his goaltender. But look at Shattenkirk. He just inches in, sees just a tiny bit of room on the stick side inside the post, and that's the perfect shot.
That ends the defense scoring drop for the St. Louis Blues, and the official timer has just blown the horn before that puck is dropped. They just want to make sure, I believe, the time and everything is correct. Danny Heatley is serving the match penalty for Rupp, who's done for the night. Well, the Scandella penalty came off the board. Officials verify everything is correct. So Shattenkirk ends the defense scoring drought with his 10th of the year. Shattenkirk hands it off for Steen across the line. Now it comes to Jaden Schwartz. 5-on-4 power play now for the Blues, and that bounces off of Haula, who made himself as big as possible to take away the passing lanes. Sabotka and Steen draw the assist on the 5-on-3 goal, as Steen for Sabotka a little bit behind him. Scandella tries to tie him up. Now Derek Roy with it. Jaden Schwartz moves in. He gets to a loose puck. Now Roy along the board, knocked away by Parisi, and picked up here by Jonas Brodin. He'll send it all the way back down the ice, deep into the St. Louis zone. Shattenkirk back to get it. He has the 5-on-3 goal that has tied this game, but a bigger concern to the St. Louis Blues now will be the condition of TJ Oshie. Look out, a couple of Blues collide. Yashkin and Bouwmeester.
That's going to happen sometimes. The puck carrier and Yashkin's going parallel along the blue line.
Look out, short-handed chance. Here's a rebound. Score! Graziak has given the Wild the lead.
Well, that was just sloppy by St. Louis, and good job by Minnesota staying inside the zone. Graziak will be deep inside the corner on the right side of your screen, and he'll stay there. St. Louis doesn't control the puck well along the boards. Graziak's timing is perfect coming out. He gets the pass, goes in, gets some help. Excuse me, that's Cook. Cook coming out of the corner, and then Graziak comes in as the second player and puts it in virtually empty net. Boy, that's a big blow to St. Louis. Now Ott is in the penalty box.
He got a 10-minute misconduct, we're being told, Brian.
Well, the emotional level's gone up so high ever since that hit on TJ Oshie. Ott always gets involved verbally, and obviously went way over the line on this one.
Everyone at XL Energy Center on their feet.
Oh, yeah, it's really changed the atmosphere in this game for sure. I mean, there's been yelling and screaming at each other. Now I think Hitchcock has just called a timeout. They had just gained so much momentum from that Shattenkirk goal on the 5-on-3. And now they don't control the puck inside their own zone with the man advantage. And Minnesota scored a goal that really did a number on them. Here's where it's kept in. Sorry, that was Cook. Cook did a good job of getting that puck back to the point. And then he's the one that looped out of the corner, 24, not 21. And then Graziak, who is number 21, he came in second of all. So smart play there by Matt Cook. And Graziak's able to come in and pick up the loose change on the play and put it into the half-empty net.
Second assist of the game for Matt Cook, and I'm going to clean up the lip reading I just did with Coach Ken Hitchcock, but he was saying we've got to play the right way. It looked to me like he was saying he's going to be fine. Maybe he was talking about TJ Oshie. It's like, let's not try to overreact to that right now. We have to play the right way. That's what he's so concerned about. He told us prior to the game in Washington, against Washington the other night, with all the playoff talk and possible matchups, he said, really, once we find out who we're playing, it's not really who you're playing, it's how you're playing at the time you go in. And he said, we want to be playing the right way. And this is really the first adversity that the Blues have faced all season. 3 losses in a row for the first time. 4 out of 6. Struggling to score. Their captain out, and now TJ Oshie knocked out of the lineup. Cleared all the way back into the Blues zone. Miller leaves it for Bouwmeester. Still 2:45 remaining in the 5 minutes against Rupp, who is done for the game with the match penalty. Brodin hammers it. Good keep in there by Pietrangelo. Over the outstretched glove, though, is Sabotka hammered around to the near side, and Bouwmeester keeps it in this time. Steen's pass anticipated by Graziak, and he sends it all the way back into the St. Louis zone.
Another ill-advised pass there in the offensive zone. St. Louis just not as sharp as they were earlier on there. An easy pick-off there for Minnesota, and they get it all the way down the ice. That wastes a lot of valuable time.
Now backhanded by Koivu. Koliakovo anticipated, held it in for Jaden Schwartz. Moves it along now for Berglund. Berglund turns, looks to the net, didn't see a shooting or passing lane. Koliakovo just kept it in at the line. Shattenkirk, the goal scorer for the Blues. Knocked off the stick of Schwartz, one-handed up the boards, and a nice play by the captain, Mikko Koivu, sends it all the way back into the St. Louis zone.
You know, one of the many things that Mikko Koivu does very well. He's very diligent on the puck. He knows the important areas on the ice. That was a really important area just inside his own blue line to make that play and get it all the way down.
Prosser, challenged there by Derek Roy, Brodin, Prosser, and now to Haula. He'll start it back up the ice for the shorthanded Minnesota Wild. We'll have a 2-1 lead thanks to the shorthanded goal by Bronziak moments ago. We're down to 1:10 remaining in the 5 minutes up on the clock for Mike Rupp, being served by Danny Heatley. Sabotka pushes it along. Shattenkirk trying to back off the penalty killers. It's knocked away by the Wild up the glass and out of play, but it did hit the glass, so it will not be a penalty. Back here in St. Paul, Minnesota, Ken Hitchcock, a concerned coach. His team down 2-1. Came into this game without his captain, who's injured. Doesn't appear to be long-term with the foot injury. But now TJ Oshie is left after a hit to the head by Mike Rupp that drew the match penalty. And during this 5-minute power play, his team did score a 5-on-3 and then gave up the shorthanded goal. And in case you're wondering, normally we do not take a TV timeout during a power play, but the officials conferred with the timeout coordinator here, and you can do it during a major if there's under 14 minutes on the clock. So that's why we were able to step away there during this power play opportunity for the St. Louis Blues. And both benches were told about it, and we are ready to resume now with 53 seconds remaining on this St. Louis power play. Sabotka and Bronziak. Comes to Shattenkirk. Hands it off down to Steen. Long-range shot. Curry got the right pad on it. Steered it to the near board. Berglund went back to the line, but Shattenkirk could not keep it in. It's all the way back down behind the St. Louis net. And Miller just leaves it there for Shattenkirk. Half a minute remaining in the St. Louis power play. Under 5 minutes to go here in the second period. Played along by Cook.
Boy, that was a good play by Scandella along the boards. He knew he was going to get hit. He just quickly backhanded up the wall to Cook. He knew Cook was there. Cook got it and threw it right back down the ice.
That pass was behind LaPierre, and he got his stick out. He's going to be called for the penalty here. He reached out after the turnover. The Minnesota player went down, and with just 10 seconds left before Heatley comes out of the box, Minnesota's going to turn this around, Brian, and have a power play.
Yeah, the end of this power play just went nothing but good for St. Louis. Let's put it that way. After they scored the goal by Shattenkirk, they just became unraveled. They gave up the goal to Bronziak. There's the trip by Maxim Lapierre. Prior to that, they couldn't get back in the zone under control, so that's gone away. Going to be 4-on-4 for a few seconds, and they'll be on the kill.
Koivu and Sabotka on this face-off deep in the St. Louis zone. And they're going to... Oh, I thought I heard a whistle. Must have been a noise in the crowd. Now Sabotka sends it across. Polak has it. And Mikko Koivu, who was just spectacular in the face-off circle against Boston the other night. A lot of it against arguably the league's best face-off man in Patrice Bergeron. You don't see many games when Bergeron's only at 40%. That's how good Koivu was the other night. Now the power play for the Minnesota Wild as Coyle sends it back. Suter.
Just mishandled that one. Koivu did not lose one face-off in the first period.
Here's Steen. Short-handed. Sets it up. Score! St. Louis answers the short-handed goal against with 1-4. Jaden Schwartz has tied the game.
What a strange play all the way around. It was just a mishandle by Ryan Suter at the blue line, the offensive blue line, that is. Mishandled it, got it out of the zone. Watch here. He just goes to pass it across and ends up in the neutral zone. Well, that caught his teammate Pominville inside the zone. Alexander Steen is just quicker on the puck. He protects the puck so well. Suter's the only guy back, but doesn't cut off the lane properly. And there's Jaden Schwartz, who gets his stick down and jams in a really important goal for St. Louis in this game.
Just the 6th shorthanded goal of the season for the St. Louis Blues.
You don't see Suter make very many mistakes, and he made 2 miscues on that one. Turned the puck over in the offensive zone and didn't cut off the passing lane.
Still 55 seconds remaining in the St. Louis penalty. Good stick there by Porter. Tries to start it back the other way, but Pominville lifted his stick, and Jason Pominville now plays it ahead. Coyle circles the Blues net. Bounces away from Koivu, back the other way now. Petrangelo with a shot. Curry made the save. Pominville being pressured by Schwartz. Steen with the only assist on the goal by Jaden Schwartz. 25th of the season for him. Terrific season.
He's an important player for St. Louis. Jaden Schwartz gets a lot of stuff done, and he's very reliable defensively.
Haula gets it back for Brodin. Moves it to the corner. Back for Haula. Just missed. Fired high on the glove side. What a nice give and go that was. LaPierre out of the box. The Blues back at full strength. Still pressure now from the Wild, and a shot. Score! What a beautiful pass from Danny Heatley to Matt Moulson. And the Wild have regained the lead.
Danny Heatley had a heck of a shift here. Creates a couple of scoring chances for Minnesota. The second one pays off. Matt Moulson in front of the net. This is how it all finished. Nice touch there by Heatley. The puck is airborne. He has to elevate it a bit and have it land, and it does land right at the stick. LaPierre gets in there, gets a little piece of it, but Moulson is so good around the net. He's strong on the puck always, excellent high-end coordination. That's where he lives, that last 15 or 20 feet around the net. Matt Moulson has fit in so well and given him so much more offensive confidence. He's played a lot with Pominville and Haula the last 4 or 5 games, and they get it done.
23rd of the season for Matt Moulson, his 6th with the Minnesota Wild. He's playing in his 19th game since coming over to the Wild. Now Reeves hammers one. Oh, that was blocked by McCormick, and that stung him. Heatley and Haula getting the assist. Out of the high slot, McCormick drops it back on the near boards. Picked up by Payarby. He starts it back the other way. Curry comes out to move it away from the forecheck of the St. Louis Blues, and McCormick now lobs it back into the St. Louis zone. Petrangelo has it. Now Steen knocked away by Cook. Steen gets it back. Hands it off now for Jay Bouwmeester. Petrangelo plays it ahead. Across for Steen with speed. Alexander Steen moving in. Curry reached down and went for the poke check and missed it. Now the Blues on the far boards. Knocked away by Cook. Recovered here by the Blues, and there's going to be a penalty coming against St. Louis. As Cook had his stick knocked away, he immediately turned to the official. The arm went up. Wild with a lead in a power play after this.
Alexander Steen has really worn his emotions on his sleeve in this game and on this last shift. He's a little too over-exuberant against Matt Cook, and that'll happen when you play against Matt Cook. But it costs 2 minutes for Steen in the penalty box slashing.
Fourth power play for the Minnesota Wild. And Ryan Suter back to get it now deep in his own zone. Final minute of this second period. Suter around the boards. Ryan Miller gets the stick on it. Angles it off the glass. Suter able to keep it alive for the Wild. In deep for Zach Parise. Knocked away by Bouwmeester. Recovered though by the Wild. Here's Suter with the top of the circle. High slot backing up. Hands it off on the far side. Gets the return. Suter Now to Koivu, the one-timer. Knocked down by Bouwmeester, and the puck recovered by Schwartz. Good stick, though, by Koivu. Prevented that clearing attempt. Out to the line now for Suter. Looks across. Hammered to the net. Save made by Miller. Suter again trying to get it to Pominville. Knocked away by Sobotka. And Sobotka and Schwartz will head to the bench, and some fresh penalty killers will come out for the last 15 seconds of the period.
That's the look that Minnesota wants to get on their power play. Pominville slipping down on his off wing so he can get that one-timer. He did have a look at Miller.
Olsen with it. And time is going to run out before Minnesota can get another shot to the net.
There's Jackman and Niederreiter with a few words exchanged too before everything's said and done in the second. This sets up well for a possible playoff matchup. It's in the air.
4 goals in that second period, 2 for each team. We had a match penalty, an injured player, and all that will be discussed in the Discover Card intermission report with Russ, JR, and Anson. We'll talk about the match penalty, momentum swings, and changing Leafs in Toronto. 40 minutes in the books between the Wild and the Blues. It's been a spirited 40 minutes. Minnesota with a 3-2 lead in the intermission report on the other side of this. The NHL on NBCSN is brought to you by E-Trade. Are you type B? By Carfax. Find the right car with the right history. Shop now at Carfax.com. By Jack Daniel's Tennessee Honey. Fly straight. Drink responsibly. And by Verizon, the official wireless partner of the NHL. Back at XL Energy Center, home of the Minnesota Wild, they have a 3-2 lead over St. Louis starting the third period. Steve Ott on the left is still serving his 10-minute misconduct. Alexander Steen was called for a minor penalty late. We did not see TJ Oshie come out for the start of the third period, so a rather short bench. That's 3 forwards right now that Ken Hitchcock can't call upon as the Minnesota Wild still have 43 seconds to work on the power play.
2/3 of that top line now not in the lineup. Backus didn't start this game. He hasn't played recently. Now TJ Oshie goes down.
Koivu, Parisi, Coyle, the top line for the Wild, along with Suter and Pominville. For Mike Yeo to start this power play, but the Blues win the draw center ice, dump it all the way back down behind Curry. Here is Suter with it. We've had 2 shorthanded goals in this game, a 5-on-3 goal and 2 even-strength goals. Now behind the St. Louis net, Parisi was in his skates. Pominville tries to dig it out of there, just outside the crease area, and picked up and cleared by Berglund all the way back down behind the Minnesota net.
And Parise was slow to get up. He's not headed to the penalty bench, but he's been flexing that right leg. Now he's going to the bench.
Now Brodziak to Niederreiter. 2 of the goal scorers for the Minnesota Wild here tonight. Niederreiter with it. Sends it out, and Folin with a long shot. Rebound, chance, score! Brodziak, his second. And Christian Folin should get his first National Hockey League point on an assist here. And the Wild with a 2-goal lead, and Ryan Miller, for the 4th time now in his last 5 games, is giving up 4 goals.
That shot from Folin gets deflected off the shaft of the stick of Alexander Steen. Goes off the end wall and comes out on the other side of the net. Miller can't handle it. Brodziak is standing there. There's the deflection. You see it come off the end wall at hyperspeed. Miller senses that he's going to be in trouble there. And then there's the shot from the bad angle. Brodziak is in the right place, gets it away immediately, and puts it in the back of the net.
2nd of the game and 8th of the season. And now here comes Jaden Schwartz with a chance. He misses the net. Hammered by Shattenkirk, but he kind of misfired on the shot. And Niederreiter getting the other assist, along with Folin. What a throw for that young man here. Schwartz with a chance. Saved by Curry. And the rebound is sent just wide of the Minnesota net.
Boy, Steen was trying to get that goal back right away. He went to the net really well. Terrific job there by Curry. A couple of saves in close.
Now Payarvi back into his own zone. Molson chasing him. Payarvi with speed into the Minnesota zone. Hands it off to LaPierre. He sends it across in front of Curry to the far side. Ryan Reeves drops it back to the near side of the Minnesota zone. Jonas Brodin chips it by Polak out to center ice. Payarvi back to get it. The Blues down 4-2 here starting this two-game road trip. And remember, they will wrap up their season Sunday afternoon on NBC against the Detroit Red Wings. And Brian, we were all wondering whether that game would mean anything for Detroit. And of course, they've clinched their playoff spot. It could end up meaning a lot for the St. Louis Blues. If St. Louis loses this game in regulation and Colorado wins their game in any fashion later on tonight against Vancouver, Colorado, because of having more ROWs, will lead the Central Division. Here's a shot by Bouwmeester, blocked in front, and the Wild able to clear as St. Louis sending a lot of bodies to the front of the net.
Yeah, they've done that pretty consistently in this game. They've had a lot of zone time against Minnesota. They had a lot of shots to the net in the first and early in the second period, but the scoreboard is still the bottom line here, and they're down by a couple.
Of course, St. Louis has had the division lead for most of the season. Chicago briefly got in front of them early in March, but it's been all St. Louis until Colorado now has made this incredible run, and Colorado could lead the Central Division by the end of the night. Incredible. Now sent right through the goal mouth, all the way to the near board. Picked up Pietrangelo a shot. That was fired high and wide. Shattenkirk gets to it now. He tries to make a move. Dumps it along the boards. And Scandella steps in front of Steen. And the Minnesota Wild defenseman will push it ahead now. Pominville. Good stick by Sabocha to break that up. St. Louis player going down, and a penalty coming here against Koivu. As the stick, not in the hands of Koivu, but in the feet of Schwartz. The evidence is there. And Koivu will go to the box. And St. Louis with a chance to get a goal back on the power play.
Koivu is really strong on his stick here. Turns around, takes a swipe at the puck. He's being strong on his stick for sure. But, yeah, I mean, you have to make that call for sure. Hold the legs out from underneath Shattenkirk. So big opportunity here for St. Louis. They have to get this power play going here and get themselves back in the game. Down by 2. They need a goal here.
And do we have a goaltending change? Yes.
Yeah,
Ryan Miller's coming to the bench, and Brian Elliott is coming in.
I didn't see him get hurt. I didn't see Miller get hurt. That's an interesting play. Brian Elliott has not lost the game against Minnesota. We kind of thought maybe he might be in for this game. I did anyway when I saw that stat. He hasn't lost to Minnesota. But I think they wanted to get Miller going and get his goals against average better. And those 4 goals against each of the last losses that he's had, Dave, as you pointed out earlier in the game. And, you know, not all of them certainly his fault, but, you know, ones that probably at least won a game that he'd like to have back. So I think they wanted to clean that up. But as I said, I didn't see him get hurt or anything. All of a sudden I turn around and they're making a goaltender change. I'm as surprised as anybody.
Well, he just, as you saw, walked down the hallway toward the St. Louis dressing room. Gave up 4 in a home loss against Dallas. Gave up 4 against Colorado, that 4-0 loss. And then the other night against Washington. And then here again tonight is Sabocha closing it. Sends it across and it bounced off a Minnesota player. Just wide. Maybe one too many passes there for the St. Louis Blues.
Yeah, went off of Steen's leg there, too. There's a high stick right up in the mouth of Koliakovo, but no penalty, too.
Hollow back the other way. Makes the move on Shattenkirk, but then backhanded it wide as he was checked on the play. Schwartz across the line and knocked away by Cook. He sends it back into the St. Louis zone.
Steen's had the best looks at the net for St. Louis.
And St. Louis through 2 periods of play, Brian. We had them for 38 attempts at the net. 28 shots on goal, and then a couple that were blocked and a few that missed the net. Bouwmeester sends it across. Pietrangelo has it now. Pietrangelo for Berglund. Berglund maybe was trying to get the attention of the officials for a bit of a slash there by Folin.
Good keep in there by Bouwmeester.
Now Berglund fides it across to the net. Curry save, rebound in the glove.
Roy thought it was in.
Oh,
He was ready to
what a glove
celebrate.
save!
He was ready to put his hands in the air. He thought it was in the net, and he can't believe it's not. Really good keep-in by Jay Bouwmeester to start the play. Goes from his side of the blue line right there. There's Bouwmeester, 19, coming to keep it in. Pietrangelo goes, okay, I'll go to the other side of the ice. If they get it to him, then Pietrangelo will get it to the front of the net. And there's Derek Roy coming out of the corner. Now look at this. He's got the open side, and he thought he had
Wow.
it, and that glove just flashed out by Curry.
Pietrangelo with a shot, and Curry had it, dropped it. He wasn't sure where it was. He knew that he didn't have it, but a teammate able to clear it, and now a block by Haula sends the puck all the way back behind Brian Elliott, who has replaced Ryan Miller here in the third period. Miller played 43 minutes, 38 seconds, gave up 4 goals on just 13 shots against, 9 saves.
Well, you can see why they gave John Curry the start. I mean, he has been really solid in this game. He has challenged really well. Conservation of motion, real quiet game. Made some terrific saves with his shoulders as he's going down. We pointed out he's not. He's listed at 5'11", and that'd be about it. And he's made a lot of good saves by keeping his upper body erect and making some big saves at the right time, too.
Olsen's pass jumped over the stick of Heatley, and now it comes back to Roman Polak. Hands it back off now to Jackman. Reeves gets it into the Minnesota zone. Jackman knocked down. And Reeves comes in now. He's played along the boards by Brodziak. This line for the Blues trying to impose their physical will. A couple of big hits by Reeves. He was very careful on the hit there by Blum. As you can see the numbers, he can drive them into the boards. Here is Cook on the angle. Elliott the save. First time he's had an opportunity to make a stop since replacing Miller here in the third period.
And that was a tough save. Cook tried to beat him short side, catch him guessing there. Elliott fought that one off.
Pietrangelo and Jackman just got to the bench. Well, that could have been too many men on the ice. Folin plays around on the far side. Berglund checked on the play by Niederreiter. Now it comes free for Folin, who sends it across. Pass was deflected. Race for the puck. Now Pietrangelo trying to hold it in. A couple of Minnesota players in the vicinity. Cody McCormick cleared, and the Blues dump it right back behind Curry. Plays it around the boards on the near side. Chopped at by Heatley and out to center ice. Heatley. Pietrangelo blocked the first one. Second one is cleared. Bouwmeester waiting for his teammates to tag up. Now Pietrangelo from center ice. Hammers it along the boards behind the Minnesota net. Far side, Jaden Schwartz. 8 minutes gone by here in the third period. Minnesota is locked into their position. They will be the #1 wild card team. They will play the division winner with the fewest points. Right now, that's St. Louis. Shattenkirk with a shot that got through. Curry made the save. Centering attempt hits the back of the net. Now across for Bouwmeester. Sent in wide. Schwartz with it. Schwartz trying to get it to the front. Steen is there. Puck loose in the blue paint, and it's cleared to the boards by Folin.
That's another look by Steen. Boy, he's been at the net.
He is right planted in the blue paint again as Jaden Schwartz comes out with a backhander trying to hoist it up high on Curry, who had something to say to the official as he went by.
The combination of Schwartz and Steen, though, has been the best overall for St. Louis in this game. Steen with that intensity. He's like a bull going to the net.
Curry still having a conversation with the official, and he looks a little bit uncomfortable. Like he's flexing something during that scramble.
Yeah, that left leg. 1 minute and 5 seconds, that last zone time for St. Louis, and they crashed the net pretty well. Curry got bumped into by Steen. I'm sure that has something to do with it.
That's a little better than the 10-second rule, at least if you're on the correct side of it, right?
Yeah. Ken Hitchcock talks about 10 seconds in your own zone and you're already in trouble. 1 minute and 5, that Minnesota was in trouble for quite a while.
Olsen now for Haula across the line to the net. Steered aside by Elliott. Now Polak knocks it away, recovers it for the St. Louis Blues, as we're approaching the halfway mark of this third period. The Minnesota Wild with a 4-2 lead over the St. Louis Blues. Blum takes a hit from Reeves. Jammed out to center ice for Heatley. On the far side for Cook. Now Matt Cook will chase it down. High slot Brodziak. 2 goals. Now it comes right to the blue paint, and Ryan Elliott covers up as Bouwmeester and Cook having a little exchange there. We have passed the halfway mark of the third. The Wild have increased their lead to 4-2. Download the NBC Sports Live Extra app to watch the game live on your phone or tablet. NBC Sports Live Extra app on NBCSports.com/Live Extra and NHL.com as we watch John Curry kind of stretch and flex that looked like that left leg as he was landed on during that recent goal mouth scramble. But it's going to take more than that to get him out of the net. Curry out to play it. Back along the far side. Picked up by Roy, now for Payarvi. Knocked down by Jonathan Blum. Blues get it back. Roy angles it off the boards. Shattenkirk with it. Now Brodziak recovers. Hands it off for Cook, and Cook will lift it back the other way. Christian Folin, first NHL game, first NHL point with an assist on the third period goal by Brodziak. Schwartz gets it in deep. Folin came over to cut him off, and now Sabotka battling against Prosser. Up the boards with it. Picked up by Steen, up high. That sounded like it hit the mask of Curry. It did. He's adjusting it. He takes off the mask to check it after the shot from Alexander Steen. It remains 4-2. Push for the playoffs. Upcoming games here on NBCSN tomorrow. Chicago and Washington. NBC Saturday at noon Eastern. The Flyers and the Penguins renew their rivalry. And then Chicago and Nashville Saturday night, 7:30 Eastern. And, you know, I mentioned Colorado could be leading the division by the end of the night. If Colorado gets 2 points tonight, it also guarantees that Chicago can't catch them. So Colorado's going to have home ice in the first round of the playoffs if they win tonight. And a remarkable turnaround for that franchise with Patrick Roy behind the bench. Puck played with a high stick as we take a look, Brian, at the workload of John Curry tonight.
He has done a terrific job. He's really challenged well. Watch how calm his body is. He's quiet. When there's a scramble around in front, he's got to have quick legs. But he's defended his turf well. He got his leg cashed in on there by Schwartz, and then the last shot was Steen coming off the wall. And that one hit him square, the kisser. He barely blinked, making sure he was back in position. He's got 37 shots on goal. He's done a great job at that.
After leaving Boston University, played for the Las Vegas Wranglers, the Wilkes-Barre Scranton Penguins, the Wheeling Nailers, the Hamburg Freezers over in Germany, the Orlando Solar Bears, and the Houston Aeros. Poliakovo with a shot picked up, backhanded toward the net, save Curry at the top of the crease, a mad scramble, and the official loses sight of it.
Boy, St. Louis is really going for it. This is just good old-fashioned hockey. Get the puck to the net, and you show some intensity. Berglund's in there jamming away. Chris Porter was in there with his feet jamming away as well, too. Get the puck to the net. There's good hands there. That's Porter. See him use the feet. And watch Berglund will come in late. Minnesota doing a good job, too, of defending their goaltender, who, again, is down, taking away everything low. And here comes Steen again. Steen's been double shifted like you read about in the second half of this game, along with Jaden Schwartz. As soon as they've gotten any kind of rest, they've been back out there again.
Face-off here, controlled by the Wild. Just want to correct what we just showed you on that promo. That NBC game coming up this Saturday between the Flyers and the Penguins is a 3 p.m. Eastern start. As Brodziak sends this into the blue zone. St. Louis and Detroit, NBC on Sunday is a noon Eastern start. Scandella knocked down. Schwartz trying to backhand it in front of the Minnesota net. It's cleared by the Wild down the ice. And this will be an icing call with 7:09 to go in the third, Brian.
Ryan Suter's had a lot of different partners this year because he plays so much. The latest one is that guy, Jonathan Blum. 3 years ago, he came up with Nashville after spending most of the year in the American League. Played terrific, 12 playoff games, played really well. Kind of lost his spot the next 2 ensuing years in Nashville, and he's had a restart here in Minnesota.
Pietrangelo shot got through. Curry the save. Niederreiter couldn't clear. Now got some help, though, from Scandella, who jams it back into the St. Louis zone. Bouwmeester back to get it. Now Reeves sends it along. Curry for Prosser. LaPierre in on the forecheck. Prosser able to get it to Scandella up the far side. That hit the stanchion. Now the Blues trying to make a play on it, but it's taken back by Molson. Ooh, he just saw Reeves coming at the last second.
Yeah, that's a mismatch in size there, Molson and Reeves.
Now it comes to Pietrangelo. Under 6.5 remaining here in the third period. Prosser moves it along. Oh! Reeves another big hit. That time on the youngster Froline.
Yeah, he unloaded on him there.
And Ott with a big hit as the Blues finishing all their checks. A little bit of a slash on the back of Molson's leg there by Reeves as he was going to the bench.
Yeah, Reeves put the brakes on and then leaned back into Froline big time. I don't think Froline expected him to do that. He thought he was just going to go with the flow.
This is a frustrated St. Louis team as a centering pass out in front, and Curry, I think, got a piece of that as Heatley tries to clear it. It's up in the air and out to center ice.
That was Berglund again, right on the doorstep, St. Louis. He got one shot at it and might have hit the post.
Yashkin slides it back. Finish that thought. A frustrated St. Louis team on the verge of losing their 4th straight. They've lost a key player tonight to a very questionable hit. A headshot by Rupp. So if you're the Minnesota Wild, keep your head up here in these final 5.5 minutes. Schwartz now. Steen battling along the far side. Schwartz gets to it. Sends it back to the line. Now it comes to Alexander Steen, high slot. Makes a little fake on the drop pass. Turns. Fires a shot, redirected, and Curry in the right place makes the save with Sobotka right on the doorstep. A little pushing and shoving, escalating here now as the officials working feverishly to get in there to break it up.
That's Shattenkirk, I believe.
Yeah, it is.
Blues.
Yep.
And Brodziak for Minnesota.
They are finally separated with 5:05 on the clock and a 4-2 Minnesota lead.
Coming up after hockey, Abby Wambach and the U.S. women get set to take on China. The U.S. riding an 81-match home unbeaten streak. It's the United States versus China right here on NBCSN.
Let's go back to another close call that St. Louis had. Good job on the forecheck here. Yashkin from behind the net gets it out in front. Here comes Berglund. He's got a little room on the far side, but he hits it off the outside of the goalpost. Look at Curry protect the post. Comes over, squares up. Doesn't give Berglund much to shoot at, and it goes off the outside and not the inside of the post.
Wild control after the faceoff in their own zone. I mentioned this is just the 5th NHL appearance for John Curry. The last time he appeared in a game was back in the 09-10 season. He played 24 minutes and gave up 5 goals. So he's trying to erase that memory and get a victory. He does have a win to his credit in the National Hockey League. In fact, a couple of wins with the Penguins back in the 08-09 campaign as Niederreiter starts it back now for Coyle. Gets behind Pietrangelo for a shot. Just missed it high and wide on the glove side of Elliott. Now Jaden Schwartz back the other way. Fires one into Curry, who dropped it and then covers up.
Charlie Coyle had a good scoring chance there, but he just doesn't get the shot away that he really wants to. I think he's trying to fight off Pietrangelo so well that he doesn't make the shot that he wants. Look at Coyle moves in here, but he shoots it low to the outside. Elliott was fairly deep in his net. He wasn't showing him exactly much. Prior to that, right after that, Jaden Schwartz coming down and taking the shot, and it's covered up.
Lapierre wins the draw, comes back to Koliakovo, hands it off to Steve Ott. Ott with a shot, doesn't get all the way through. Lapierre tried to get it to the front. Lots of traffic in front of John Curry. It was big Ryan Reeves who was there a moment ago. Now Reeves goes back to the blue paint area again. The puck comes to the corner. Koliakovo moved in from the point. Cook and Reeves give each other a couple of shots. The last one, a hard one from Reeves on the back of Cook. They let it go. The official's letting him play right now.
Yeah, Cook didn't like that. He looked right over at the referee, and he gave a little bit of a shot to the back of Reeves along the boards, too. Paid him back a little bit. The referees let that one go also.
Shot through traffic. Save made by Curry. Cook comes up with it. And now it is skated out by McCormick across the line. Odie McCormick has to send it to the front of the net. Reeves and Cook still having words behind the play. Still having words, jousting each other.
Yeah, Matt Cook didn't like that. Reeves already has a cross-checking penalty in this game. He gave a pretty good shot to Cook. Cook wasn't happy about it. He looked over at the referee, saw he wasn't going to get one, but he got his licks back in along the wall afterwards. Along the wall, there's the shot across the back.
There's the slash, there's
right
another.
there.
Yeah.
And then there's another one after. After that, Cook gives it to him. Then down at the other end of the ice after the whistle is blown, the altercation again. Neither one of them backing down. Remember, these two teams very likely to play each other in the first round of the playoffs.
Or with Minnesota winning this, it could scramble a whole lot of things. And now Yashkin ends up back in the corner with just over 3 minutes remaining now in the third period. Minnesota continuing to lead 4-2, getting the early third period goal from Brodziak. And this puck out of play as we take a look at the Western Conference standings coming into action tonight against St. Louis with 111, just 2 ahead of Colorado, 4 ahead of Chicago. But a loss in regulation tonight. Colorado wins in any fashion against Vancouver. They tie St. Louis of points. They own the tiebreaker. That puts Colorado in as the number 2 division leader as Anaheim has 112. And so that could set up a Minnesota-Colorado first-round matchup. And Anaheim would play the number 2 wildcard team, which is looking more like could be the Dallas Stars as Phoenix losing their game late 2-0 last I looked, which means Dallas could clinch the last playoff spot tomorrow at home against the struggling St. Louis Blues. Steen sends it across. Bouwmeester, low shot, hit traffic in front, and Scandella lifts it back out.
44 shots on goal now for St. Louis.
Pietrangelo across the line. Sends it in wide of Curry. 5th different goaltender to play in the 5th game of this season series.
They got their money's worth out of John Curry.
Oh, they sure did.
With the 44 shots. Dave, the last 5 or 6 games, they've been giving up 20 shots, 22 shots, 24 shots. So this is way out of the norm for Minnesota lately. And you got to give credit to St. Louis. Boy, they have just thrown everything they can at the net offensively, and they can't get it to go often enough.
Harding, Brzgalov, Backstrom, and Kemper all have played a full game in this season series. And now Curry. First time in several seasons, back to 07-08, I believe, since it has happened in the National Hockey League where a team has used 5 different goaltenders in a season series. That happened with LA against Anaheim a few years back.
And Dave, you know, it's smart by Minnesota too. Why would you give him a nice long pass?
And that Steen shot just deflected wide.
Why would you give St. Louis a free look at Brzgalov? Brzgalov's playing well. They don't have to worry about his game.
Now Coyle back the other way. Wanted to drop it off for McCormick. Intercepted by Pietrangelo. And Brian Elliott sprinting to the bench as the puck comes up the ice. St. Louis down by 2. Pulling the goaltender, but now Coyle at center ice. And it's knocked away, picked up by Niederreiter. Oh, he tried to go to Coyle being unselfish. When he could have put it in the open net. And now Bouwmeester back the other way. Jammed to the boards by Blum. Now Schwartz getting some help from Steen, trying to put it to the front. Ott was right there. Ott is pushed Into the net behind Curry. It comes off the supports. The official blows it down and is going to say the faceoff is staying in the Minnesota end.
Well, Steve Ott's a good guy to give you that net front presence because he'll take anything and he'll dish out a lot. Yeah, he took a 10-minute misconduct penalty earlier in the game, which wasn't a good idea.
St. Louis hits that number that Ken Hitchcock talked about, 60 attempts to the net, but they are down 4-2. And just to go back to the last time in the NHL that a team used 5 goaltenders against an opponent, it was 07-08. J.S. Aubin, Jonathan Bernier, Dan Cloutier, Eric Ersberg, and Jason LaBarbera all played for L.A. against Anaheim, and John Curry the fifth to play for Minnesota against St. Louis. And appears to be on his way to a win, but there's still 35.5 seconds. Extra attacker is on for the Blues. Empty net. Berglund and Hall on this face-off. They tie each other up. Puck comes free. Scandella backhands it. Glove down at the line by the Blues. Shattenkirk sends it back in deep for Steen. Steen along the boards with it.
Hall has got no stick.
Lob toward the net. Knocked down. Porter, a chance and a save by Curry. Now Pietrangelo rolls it back in deep. Schwartz is there. 15 seconds remaining. Pominville for the open net. He hit the goalpost. No icing, though. Linesman had waved that off as Holla was down there. So that is going to do it for this one. The losing streak for the Blues has grown to 4. John Curry wins in his Minnesota debut, raises his arms triumphantly, and the Minnesota Wild continue to play the right way, and it breaks an overall 9-game losing streak against the St. Louis Blues and perhaps build some confidence should these teams meet in the playoffs. But that's still a very murky picture as late as we are in the season. Still so much to be settled in the Western Conference. 4-2 is our final score. Minnesota over St. Louis. I'm Dave Strader. In just a moment, Brian Engblom will have an interview with one of the stars of tonight's game. But right now, let's go to Russ Taylor. NHL Overtime presented by Bud Light.